Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Look, Wrestling 101, classes in session. Pay attention to the teachings, that's from Andrew and Derek. I mean, these guys making a killing with no competition. Dynamic duo better than the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys. Everybody make some noise, mess with them, you get destroyed. They cannot be beat, take a seat. Watch them do they thing on the MIC. Face defeat, they cannot be seen like JC. Oh my goodness, it's a killing spree.
This is Amber Nova. Tune in for a tune-up at Wrestling IQ 101.
Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Wrestling IQ 101. I'm Andrew alongside Derek.
Yep.
And you can follow Wrestling IQ 101 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Wrestling IQ 101. You can listen to us right here on YouTube, or you can follow us on our iTunes by typing in Wrestling IQ 101. You'll see our own banner. You'll see past episodes, new episodes like this one, and current ones coming out soon. And today we're sitting with wrestling superstar Aria Blake. How's it going?
It's going well. How are you guys?
Oh, man.
Yeah, we're doing great. We're really excited for this one, glad to get the chance to, talk to you.
On my way over here, I stopped off and I got a slice of pizza, and I was thinking about you because you love pizza, right?
I love it. Yes, I'm literally watching a podcast that Papa John is on right now by H3H3.
Oh, man. What's your favorite pizza?
I like just regular plain cheese pizza, but with white sauce.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
That's interesting.
That's pretty cool.
You said, I got one more thing, because we're from Jersey, so it's like, you talking, you're watching a Papa John's pizza? Is that a podcast?
Yeah, I was watching the H3H3 podcast, and Papa John was on it right now, and they're like literally taste testing pizza and all that.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah, let me ask you, do you like it hot or cold, or it doesn't matter?
Oh my gosh. It doesn't matter, but like if I broke it down, I'd say like 80% of the time I prefer hot, like 20% cold.
Yeah. All right, that's pretty cool.
I think it depends. It depends on the situation.
Yes, it does.
That's pretty cool that we have a pizza expert here. But there's a place by us in Central Jersey. It's called Nunzio's Kitchen, and it has like 150 different types of pizza.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy. They have like chicken and waffle pizza, but there's like no sauce. It's just waffles and the chicken and there's
that's
like
interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty. They have like peanut butter and jelly. It's just like the crust, and there's like peanut butter and jelly like sporadic around it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So next time you're up here, we'll be more than happy to take you.
Oh my gosh, yes, please.
Yeah, definitely. Now, one thing I like that's kind of different about when you look at your like social media, especially like your Instagram, it's more like a model page, I would say, being a wrestler, but I know you're also a model as well. So I like that it's kind of different because it's not just like, your normal, hey, I'm a wrestler, these are all my wrestling stuff, here's flyers, this and that. So what's like the importance of like social media to you, and, how do you use it to, your benefit?
Oh man, it's everything these days. It's advertising myself, but like you were saying, it's not just posters and flyers. It's more about just myself as a person. I want to post whatever I think will get the most interactions, the most engagement. I mean, I like to see my numbers go up, of course, but to have the genuine interaction with fans is always really great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I do kind of think of my Instagram as like a portfolio in a way.
Got you. Yeah.
So I think that's been imperative for my both wrestling and modeling careers.
I got you. So do you kind of use like both to like benefit each other, or are you kind of like, straying away towards one, like, or do you prefer one over the other?
I think I'd prefer wrestling over modeling. It's just that like it's easier to shoot than it is to have a show every day, I guess.
Got you.
It's easier to produce that sort of content, and it generally looks better than like a picture of me like getting messed up or something.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, sure. We don't want to see you get messed up.
No, me either.
Yeah. It's funny because I couldn't help but notice that a lot of the guy wrestlers, they're like falling all over you. I mean, like MJF, the bad boy Joey Janela. I mean, it's supposed to be a good feeling knowing that you're not just kicking butt in the rings, but you're also quite beautiful.
Oh yes, I love that. I love the attention. It's so fun.
Oh man. See, I gotta go back, and I gotta ask. Like, I feel like I'm more closer to the bad boy than MJF. Like how did you leave the bad boy and go with MJF? What was the deciding factor on that?
How I did it was I broke a bottle over his head.
Yeah, I know.
Why I did it is because I don't know, like just put them against each other. You see who has more to offer, and at the time I felt that it was MJF, I guess, and I had more moments on camera, more attention on me, better matches to watch, better everything.
Yeah, I mean, MJF is doing pretty well for himself. He has Cody in the future going.
I know, he's doing so good. I'm really proud of him. I wish that we were still in MLW together because those were some of like the best days, but he's doing awesome and I'm really happy for him.
Sure. It's pretty interesting that not because you have Instagram and social media, but your dog Cooper, right?
Yeah.
I know I have a little 5-pound Yorkie, and he's a spoiled brat and pain in the ass, and he can be a dick sometimes. So, do you feel the same way about Cooper, or is he just a love muffin?
I feel that way about myself.
Oh, yeah.
No, I love Cooper. He's the best little dog. He's got such a personality. And I feature my other dogs, Tyler and Axel, on there too. It's just that I had Cooper first, so and then I'm like, I'm not going to make 3 different Instagrams for them. It's just a lot at that point. But yeah, I love animals. I love my dogs. They're my children and my everything.
They're children.
They're your children, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's how it is. My dog, she's my first kid. That's what I always tell everybody. And she has like major anxiety though. I don't know what's up with her. She's a little cuckoo.
But they're just part of the family. They grow on you, and they're something else. These little guys, right?
Yeah. So for you, with wrestling, like what's your goal with it? Where do you see yourself? Like do you have a plan for it, or are you looking towards something that you want to accomplish, or is it just like, hey, I'm just going with it and seeing where it goes?
I guess it's weirdly both, because I am going with it and seeing where it goes, because I can only control so much. But my ideal goal is I do want to be with a company. I don't know where I want to go because so much has changed in our landscape in the last few years.
Yeah.
Like it used to, everybody's goal just seemed to be one company or nothing really. But now there's just so many options, even overseas. Like I really want to be able to travel and see the world, and if I can do it while wrestling, that's even better.
Yeah, no, for sure. One thing that I kind of like, and that you display for sure, is being independent. Is like there's so many different avenues that you can do, and I feel like with a contract, like sometimes you're limited because like that big company, they control a lot of what you do and who you can talk to. Like we probably wouldn't be talking to you right now. There's a lot of things that you can't do.
Yeah, definitely. I have been under contract with MLW, but I'm a free agent again, and it's like a good feeling to have had that background, but also now I'm like, okay, I know what to look forward to in the future, some of what's coming up in my life through those experiences.
Yeah, there's so many women out there that you could tangle with. I mean, who's out there that you want to face that you haven't had the opportunity to square off with?
Ooh, I would really love to wrestle Allison Kay. I think she's so great, and she's such a good locker room leader. Like the times I've seen her in Shine, and she's so good at just everything she does.
Yeah.
And then keeping in the same program, I'd also really like to wrestle Melina, because I think she's living legend among us right now, living diva legend. We love that.
Yeah, for sure. She's still going.
It's crazy.
Yeah, she's one of my heroes. I would love to.
She's been on the independent scene for such a long time, and now that she's had pretty much a
resurgence.
Resurgence and killing it with NWA. How awesome is that, right? Like just knowing that things can happen so instantly.
Yeah, for you, when you first got into wrestling, and I know your first match you saw was a women's match. and women's wrestling from that point. I believe it was 2008. You said from that point to now, I know it's like evolved like so much just in that short span of 12 years. How does it feel just knowing like from that time when you fell in love and like the progression of wrestling for women in general, how far it's come for you guys?
It's a good feeling. It's really good, especially since I was growing up watching it happen and going from being a fan to being in the business, feeling that shift in real life, going from, short couple-minute diva matches to the women that can main event and all that stuff now. So I think the progression has been so great. It's just really, it's fun to see because I remember being like 13, 14, whatever it was, and being like, well, why do the women get no time? Why can't they also have this type of stipulation match or that type of feud or whatever like the men? So to see the equality in it's been really refreshing.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, that match you saw, what was it that, that you saw from it that made you fall in love with wrestling?
It was, I think, just seeing women be badasses and just like, because I had known about wrestling, but I didn't know that women were really as into it as they were. Like, I thought it was just an eye candy type of gimmick. Mm-hmm. But then as I saw the match, I was like, oh, cool. So women can do this, that. There was a championship on the line, which also really caught my eye. So I was just like, this is really awesome, and I have to do this.
Yeah.
Sure, and there's so many different types of matches. What's the type of match that you haven't had yet that you're just itching to have?
Ooh, I think it'd be really fun to have a ladder match of sorts. I haven't had one yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it'd be extremely dangerous, but that's like what I'm here for. I think that'd be really fun.
If you beat up your opponent like pretty badly, then you'll just be okay, right?
Yeah, or like a multi-person ladder match, like a Money in the Bank type of thing would be really fun.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty cool for sure.
Mm-hmm. The more bodies, the better.
Definitely be sick.
More carnage, yeah.
So, you're like, you have a whole bunch of different hats. You do managing, you wrestle. You did backstage work. Before. Do you prefer one over the other? And which one is your favorite? I would just say.
I would put wrestling as my favorite, then managing, and then backstage. I think at the end of my career, I'm definitely interested in doing more backstage work, like being a producer or a writer. Mm-hmm. But for now, it's definitely wrestling, and managing is a very close second, maybe 1.5.
Yeah, it's a good trait to, be able to do more than, just wrestling. You're planning your future for sure.
Yeah, I try to keep myself as versatile as I can. Always have a reason to like be kept around.
Yeah, sure, the other thing, you don't just get in there with the ladies. I mean, you've gotten there with like Joey Ryan, right? How was it getting in the ring with Joey Ryan? He can be a little intimidating, right?
Yeah, at first I was definitely a little intimidated. He has a crap ton of experience compared to me, and is a dude. But I have taken a couple boobplexes in my life and somehow survived them. I think it's because I don't have the biggest boobs in the world. That helps. But he's an awesome person. I really like working with him. He's really fun, and he always has great ideas and just like can put things together so flawlessly. Yeah,
you see the transition he just made on Impact? He gave up the King of Sleaze like persona. Now he's kind of like right to censor. It was all over Twitter the other day. I was like, wow, there's a whole new different Joey Ryan.
That's really funny. I wonder if he's like sleazy on the independent still.
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
I know.
But yeah, on Impact, I was like, wow, it's like a whole new, like, wearing like a collar, button down like polo shirt and like khaki shorts. I'm like, this is a whole new guy.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's strange. He definitely doesn't dress like that in real life, so that's definitely a change.
Yeah. That's funny. I thought you said he has a crap ton of experience. I thought he was gonna say he has a crap ton of baby oil all over him. I thought it was like hard to tangle with him.
That too, it actually was before when Max and I wrestled him and Taya at MLW. He had so much baby oil on that I remember I just wiped it all over Max's scarf and was like, I'm sorry, but like literally my hands were slipping and gross, and I had chest hair on my fans, and it was
kind of playing off of what Andrew asked you. He asked you if there was any woman you would like to get in the ring with, but is there any man that that you haven't gotten in the ring with that you would like to?
Ooh, I have not thought about this.
That's a tough one.
I think it'd be really fun to wrestle any of the Dynasty guys, just because they're like my dudes.
Yeah.
One of those won't happen though, but I mean, Hammer would kill me probably, and probably Holiday.
Oh man, I would like to see you with in the ring against like AC Baby or something like that. Romero Ace.
Oh wow.
that would be so hilarious. But I feel like you would find a way to pull it off.
Oh, I would have to think of devious tactics for sure, and try to chop them down.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many countless matches you can have. That's the one thing about the independent scene. I mean, you can kind of pick the show you want to be on, and if you have too many offers, right?
Mhm. Yeah, the independents are the best.
So, how did the idea for these spoiled brats come about?
So Selena and I have just always been best friends, and I think that one night we were just let's be a tag team, and I came up with the name Spoiled Brats. I don't remember how, but I was like, that's us.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like you two are kind of I don't know how to put it, kind of evolving the game, I would say, because she's kind of the same way when you look at her Instagram as well. It's the same thing. It's you can't really see oh, she's just a wrestler. She does so much more, and I feel like she uses it to her advantage as well. Is that kind of something you guys talked about together, or is it kind of hey, it just happened that way?
She definitely does. I'd say that we're just both really like-minded people, and we both talk to each other about doing photo shoots and who we're working with, concepts, all that type of stuff. She has more modeling experience than I do. She used to do it when she lived back in Puerto Rico, I think on a professional level. Mm-hmm. So I've also just been able to learn from her, watch her during her shoots, pick things up. So I really like just having her to collaborate with.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, not a bad person to have. Do you find it more stressful being on set with her or more relaxing?
Never has it been stressful. It's not even relaxing because it's fun. It's it's my best friend, and we live 2 hours apart from each other, so I don't see her all the time. So when we are together, it's always just we make the most of our time. We have fun. It's loud. It's crazy.
Nice. And speaking of having fun, is there anything outside of the ring that you do as a hobby or interest, that fans probably want to know that that you're creative at?
Yeah, I make candles.
Oh man.
I make scented soy candles with essential oils. I've had some fans inquire and buy them. I've brought them to shows. So that's one of my hobbies for sure.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Do you make different scents? Hey, this is the bad boy Joey Janela. This is MJF.
No, I've never thought of that. No, usually floral or dessert scented. I don't think anybody wants a Joey Janela scented candle.
Oh man.
Yeah, I've never actually made a candle. What's the process? I mean, how do you make it scented?
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. You just melt down some wax and you add essential oils. And the essential oils I buy are usually, like I said, fruity, floral, dessert kind of smells to them. Yeah. And then just mix that up, pour it into a mold, and wait.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Now, something I saw you had, you posted, I saw you had a Sally t-shirt from, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
Are you a Nightmare Before Christmas fan, or is it just hey, I had the red hair, so let me go with Sally?
Both. I am a fan of it.
Yeah, no, that's definitely that's my favorite movie of all time. I love Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of my favorite animated movies.
Yeah, here in Jersey, New York area, during the holidays you can actually go see it live, which is amazing.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. And you know why? You didn't know that either? No? Oh, man. No, why you? I know you recently made the switch too. You went back to blonde. Was there any purpose in that, or is it just I know women with the hair? It's just I know it's a lot of work with the red hair.
Yeah,
you just
that's the biggest factor, is that it's so much time and maintenance, and like it was just damaging my hair. Like my hair wasn't really growing as much as I wanted it to. And then one day I was doing my roots and I was just like, whatever, just go for it. And I put bleach all over my head.
Oh man.
And it was really impulsive. And then I was like, I guess I'm blonde now. I'm gonna stay blonde for a little while. And then I noticed that like my red hair found several new homes. So I'm like, oh, I guess we're done.
Yeah, I was thinking about the candles again. Do you like to go to Yankee Candle and try out all the scents?
Yes, I do. I wish I could just buy everything in there.
Oh man, you don't get overwhelmed. I feel like I love that place, but I feel like, you know, like it's like that other place too, like Bath and Body Works. It's like it's just so many smells. Sometimes it's overwhelming.
Yeah, well, what you gotta do is like sniff coffee beans like in between when you're smelling, because that like resets your nose or whatever. It's a trick I learned when I worked at Sephora with like perfume.
Man.
Yeah, I learned that too because I worked in Macy's, and I would always remember people coming with those coffee beans to try different perfumes.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Oh man, I was gonna say this is like a thing. Like you walk around with coffee beans.
So
yeah,
they usually have it like like a salt and pepper shaker, and they put like coffee beans in there to
Hey, I learned something new today.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, you didn't know that with the
no.
They have like if you go for different cosmetics, they shake it up.
No, that's cool. I'll try it now. So you know, you debuted it back in 2015. You know, from now that's a short period of time, but you've had a lot of success, you know, from that time to now. But, you know, what have you learned since then, and how do you think you have improved as a professional since that time?
I think I've improved because I went from being a fan and thinking I knew a lot about wrestling to being a wrestler and realizing I don't know as much as I thought I did.
Yeah.
I feel like I found myself in wrestling. Like I found my voice. I found who I want the world to see me as. I have impressed myself athletically with it. I think I've improved a lot there. I just couldn't be more grateful for wrestling. And I mean, I'm 5 years in, but I definitely have so much more left to give.
Yeah, no, that's definitely for sure.
You know, I noticed that you also have a Pro Wrestling Tees account. I mean, do you come up with all your designs? You outsource them? I mean, how do those come about?
I ask a graphic designer to come up with some concepts for me. I generally work with my friend Rodney. He's somebody that I've just known throughout Florida wrestling for a while, probably like as long as I've started. So I just like come to him with an idea and he makes it, and we'll make adjustments as we go. That's
pretty cool. And people can go now and pick up a shirt too, right?
Yes, definitely go do that.
For sure. So for you personally, you know, like I believe like you're like 5'2", like you're pretty small compared to, you know, your normal athlete. How was it like when you first got into training, and you know, did you find it as a challenge being smaller, or like people taking you serious? Like how was that experience?
I guess, yeah, there is the problem with people taking me seriously, especially like when I do manage and stuff. People are like, oh, you do wrestle? It's like, yeah, that's what I was trained to do first.
Yeah.
Especially, I think the size does not help me with that. But I don't know. Training was fine. Like, everyone I trained with was super cool and, like, accommodating. We'd sometimes have to alter, like, hey, don't throw those lines above my head. You got to lower your body a little because I'm short. But little adjustments like that and stuff. But everybody's got to learn how to wrestle people of all different sizes.
Yeah, no. And your first match that you ever had, do you still remember it? And can you recall, like, being nervous or, you know, anything that you look at now and you're like, dang, I could have did this better?
Yeah, I remember it. It was a battle royal. It was January 31st, 2015. It was a student battle royal with all of us from the Lethal Academy. And I had so much fun. I remember I was really nervous, but I was really excited, and I felt comfortable being there with all my fellow students, my trainers watching, my family there at the time. So it was nerve-wracking, but in the best way.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine it all being in there. You know, what was some of the best advice that you've been given throughout your career so far?
Eyes open, mouth shut, ears open, that kind of stuff. Just listen to everybody, because you never know where somebody's been or what their job might be or what they're going to do for you one day. Always just listen.
Yeah, no, that's good advice. I try to tell Andrew to listen to me all the time, but it hasn't worked yet. It doesn't work yet.
Probably won't.
So how did you get involved with Major League Wrestling? Like, what was that process like? Did they, seek you out, or was it something you applied for, or you wanted to get involved with? How did that all come about?
I have known the talent coordinator person, MSL, for a really long time. He was part of the school that Selena trained at, so I had known him through that, and she's my best friend. So as she got more involved, I got more involved, and I eventually just signed.
Yeah, it's always good to have friends, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a lot of places that you could go. There's WoW, there's AEW, WWE. I mean, where do you feel like you would fit in the best?
I don't know. I would really like to do something like WoW, where it's really character driven. I think that would be a really fun adventure.
Yeah.
I think AEW is like the hottest thing right now. I, of course, would love to be there. I have so many friends there. I think Impact is great. It's in Florida for the most part, which is pretty good for me. I don't know. There's so many places.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think you could bring your talent anywhere and take home that championship. I mean, I think you fit in perfectly.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, I think WoW would be great. That's like it's in LA. It's like I feel like that would help you on so many different avenues besides just wrestling.
Yeah, and I really wonder what kind of character I would get and how I could play with it, make it different, make it fun.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about doing acting or anything like that?
Definitely. I just don't really know where to get started.
That's pretty cool that you want to do some acting, that you make candles. You have sometimes we ask our guests, I mean, are there any fun stories you have from being on the road? Any ribs that have been pulled or something like that? Nothing too crazy.
Well, there's a rib I pulled on myself once. I was driving back from a show with one of my friends, and we went to a gas station and just took a nap there. It was 3:30 in the morning, and I woke up, thought I was all awake to go, and then floored it back into this yellow pole.
Oh,
and
my God.
Yeah, I have yellow scratches on my black car to this day, so that was a fun rib on myself.
At least you're okay.
Yeah, I was totally fine. It was 5 miles per hour, but it was fuck.
Wow.
Man.
That's pretty funny.
Nice. Yeah. Do you keep up with I guess we say pop culture? Are there any shows that you binge watch that you're into? Any movies that you're into?
I really want to see Birds of Prey. I need to see that movie.
Oh,
yeah.
I love Suicide Squad. I'm one of the only people that probably did.
Yeah, no, Suicide Squad was great.
Yeah, it just gets
it.
a lot of crap.
Yeah, it
but
does.
Yeah, I love the DC universe. TV shows. I watch a lot of comedy stuff and I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Nice. What are some of your favorite podcasts?
I really like podcasts. Your Mom's House, Tiger Belly, Congratulations with Chris D'Elia, Joe Rogan Experience, of course.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone listens to that.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought you were going to say Wrestling IQ 101.
See, look at that. We set you.
Yes, of course. That's what I meant.
we set you up, and you see what you did to us.
I didn't realize it was a setup.
Nah, I'm playing.
Yeah, Joe Rogan's the man. He has some interesting people on all the time. So, we saw that you like Suicide Squad, and who's your favorite DC character or villain?
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn?
Yes.
I can't blame you. She's a pretty impressive badass.
I think she's such a dynamic character.
Yeah. Do you like Marvel, or is it just strictly DC?
I like both. I think I just watched more DC stuff growing up than Marvel, and there's so much Marvel stuff to keep track with.
Oh yeah, it's great. Do you have Disney Plus?
I did. I had a trial for it, but I never got back on that.
Oh, okay, yeah, 'cause they have
everything there.
Yeah, they have most of the Marvel stuff, and it's so much. You're absolutely right. It's just incredible.
Yeah. So when you when you first started watching wrestling, who were some of your favorite wrestlers that you drew influence from, or that gave you that urge?
My favorites were Maurice. She was in the first match that I saw, so I was like instantly drawn to her, and she won the Divas Championship. So I love her. Melina, like I said. Jeff Hardy is my favorite wrestler of all time.
Nice.
So him, of course. Edge, Rey Mysterio, Chris Jericho. I had so many favorites.
Oh man.
Yeah, how surprised were you just a couple weeks back when Edge entered the Royal Rumble?
Really surprised. Oh my god, I didn't expect that whatsoever.
Yeah, he looks kind of grizzled too. I mean, I think that's kind of cool. I mean, I can't wait to see what he does in the next few months.
Yeah, like a grizzled Viking.
No, that's a good way to put it. I feel like, I couldn't get as excited as I want to because it was like Kobe Bryant had passed away the same day. So it's just like, it was just so sad. It was like, oh, Edge is back, but it was just like, oh, I'm still sad.
Yeah,
you're right. I forgot that happened.
Where can people get you on social media if they want to connect with you, if they want to follow your wrestling and modeling career? And
so most of my stuff is going to be on Instagram, and that is the Aria Blake. It's all one word. I also have a Patreon, which is also just patreon.com/the Aria Blake. And then my Twitter is different. That one is I'm Aria Blake.
Definitely. Yeah, make sure you guys check that out. Buy some teas. Check out everything. 8x10s, whatever she can give you, definitely you want to get it from her, for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, Aria, we are very thankful and, we're glad we got the chance to talk to you, and we're, glad you took the time out to answer our questions and come on the show. We definitely appreciate it.
Of course, you guys are welcome. Thanks for having me.
Oh, anytime. And for us, this has been Wrestling IQ 101. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Wrestling IQ 101. You can listen to us right here on YouTube, or if you type in Wrestling IQ 101 on iTunes, you'll see our own banner and our past episodes, current episodes, and the future ones to come. And we'll see you guys very soon.
We're out.